She's just a girl and she's on fire, hotter than a fantasy, lonely like a highway. She's living in a world and it's on fire.
Supporting each other was really important, especially for me. It's really hard to go out on the mat and like fight some guy. And it helps, sometimes people freeze up, and it really helps to have your friends and other women supporting you, just saying what to do, yelling no with you when you have to do scary stuff like eye strikes. And I know just having it said over and over helps me remember what to do. And some of this stuff is really, really hard. So it's nice to know that you have a great support system to fall back on.
Supporting each other was one of the, I think, the most important parts of the course, just because when you're going through the scenarios, it could be really scary, and just to know that you had all these people on the side who weren't judging you and who were there to support you really just gave me more confidence, and I think gave other people more confidence too. And it just reminded you that you are in like a judgment-free zone, that you were loved, and that you could do it. And that was just the reminder of it.
Filled with catastrophe, but she knows she can fly away.
When I came into the course, I felt extremely self-conscious of like my moves, like physical strength and stuff. But as the course went on, I started to feel like so much more confidence, especially with like the support of everyone else. And you know, it's not about physical strength, it's about like, you know, believing in yourself, and the course really allows you to feel that way.
Oh, she got both feet on the ground and she's burning it down.
So I think it's really important while we're doing these scenarios to really embrace all of these emotions that you could potentially be feeling if you ever were attacked, or even while talking to someone where you feel uncomfortable, because those feelings are going to be able to spark that fear that you feel. Really is able to kind of like trigger these automatic emotions that we've learned to do, and in doing that we have started to, you know, when I first started working or coming to self-defense, like I physically did not believe that I was able to like push someone off me, or pull them to the ground, or you know, stand up for myself in that sense. And I had a lot of like fear, and I didn't, you know, I just wasn't I guess aware of my own abilities. And so what this class was able to do was teach me how to, or you know, break down each of those fears, and teach me how to kind of overcome them one at a time. And so now I feel really confident kind of going out into the world, moving to New York, that this is going to be, hopefully I will never ever have to use any of these skills, but even, you know, talking to people at bars or people on the street, that I feel confident to be able to stand up for myself and let them know who's boss.
Oh, she got her head in the clouds and she's not backing down.
My favorite technique was the side kick. I felt like that was the most powerful, and every time you made contact with that one, it was just really empowering and just exciting, I guess, to know that like it's a really good weapon to have, a really good tool to be able to defend yourself with.
This girl is on fire. This girl is...
I think definitely seeing the improvement in everyone else and seeing the support was really my favorite part.
I think my favorite part is kind of twofold. Throughout the whole class, watching the transformation with the group of women that we were with, and watching everyone improve, not only improve, but also support each other as the class went on. So like the first class, everyone was really awkward and, you know, didn't really know how to support each other in that way. And by the end, you know, people were stepping in for each other just to make sure everyone felt supported. And
I feel like, you know, it's such a unique thing. We're all brought together and we don't know each other, but after the class, you feel like you connected with people on an emotional basis, because there's just that overwhelming support and confidence within each other.
Because we had that support system, I felt so confident at the end, talking about one of my stories and overcoming and giving these stories different endings for me, which has been, since that, has been incredibly impactful and has allowed me to really move forward without a lot of the fear that I didn't even realize I was embodying. So, yeah.
I think my favorite part of the course was just, I think that was the last day, just because we got to, like at the end, we got to kind of use all of our skills, and it was the scariest day, but it was also the most fun because it really showed like how much I had progressed, and I could see how everyone else had progressed, and it was like seeing how all of our confidence had built up over the course presented in that last day was really just the most fun to see.
I think I was already really aware of rape culture as a concept. Like, we talked about it a lot. We talk about it a lot. It happens on college campuses, and that's kind of the space that I'm most familiar with. But what I learned was just how pervasive it was in my own life. I walked in kind of pretty confident about my own voice and feeling like I had something to say, but when we start talking about kind of like physical strength and feeling threatened, I didn't realize how pervasive issues of rape culture were in kind of my physical safety, and also kind of how I go about living in the world, especially in relation to people who may put me at risk. So I think that was the biggest thing that I learned in our class that I wasn't exactly aware of. I was aware of it as a concept and on college campuses, but not in my own life.
I think it really contributes to adding a lot to their well-being, to their safety. It's really empowering to know that you have the tools to defend yourself if anything were to happen. And I think for a lot of victim survivors, it really gives them back the power that they may have lost during their sexual assault. And it's just really empowering to see everyone go through it, and at the end of it, to see that everyone knows that they're safe in a sense, and that they have a community to protect them, and that they have the tools to protect themselves.
I know for me, after taking this course, I feel a lot stronger and a lot more capable, and therefore more safer. I've never really felt unsafe on this campus, but in a lot of campuses, people can feel very unsafe, and it's nice to know that you can defend yourself no matter what size you are, or if you look vulnerable, you know that you can defend yourself. And I think it also strengthens women, and a lot of the things that we learned about was rape culture, and how even simply laughing at a joke that's sexist can further that and make it seem okay for people to say things like that, which is really not. So I think that after taking this course, a lot more women will be able to stand up for women's rights and try to prevent rape culture in the future.
I think it is an incredible influence. I think that finding your voice is such a big part of college as a whole, but I think impact gives us a voice when we're scared or frustrated or angry or frightened, and I think that is something that we don't necessarily have in the classroom necessarily. So I was really lucky, and I was fortunate to take impact, because I think it gives a gift to college women to say, I am powerful, I'm enough, I have the strength to defend myself, but I also have kind of the emotional resilience to continue to fight back. And I think those are things that we don't really tell women in general, much less college women. And so I was really lucky to take this course, and I think impact has a huge influence on college women.